Hi there everybody, it's Marc Laurenson here from Sydney Astrology School, and this is episode number 4 in the North Node through the Signs series. This is our final episode, and in this episode we're going to be looking at the North Node through the water signs. And the water signs, of course, are Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. So when you're looking at the North Node going through the water signs, we're heading into uncharted territory here because the North Node is that. We're actually integrating the energy in a new way through the North Node. And when you're looking at it through water signs, we're actually going into much, much deeper territory. It's much more internal. It's much more visceral. It's an area of basically integrating feeling. Learning how to feel all over again. And I find that each of the water signs do have a very, very distinct way of being able to do that. So let's start with the first one. Let's start with the North Node in Cancer. So when you think of the North Node in Cancer, immediately a lot of people are going to think, oh, they probably need to connect with family. Now, that is true to a point, but Cancer is much, much more than family. When you think of Cancer, Cancer is ruled by the moon, so always look at the connection to the moon in the chart as well to get some more information about the North Node, where the moon is going to be. And that goes for everything that I've talked about in the North Node through the Signs series. Have a look at the ruling planet of the North Node and where it is in the chart by sign and by house, because that will give you more information on what you need to be able to integrate. So when you're looking at the moon, not only its placement in the chart, but just the moon energy in itself, we're looking at the need for nourishment. We're looking at the need for love and nurturance. And for us, if you've got the North Node in Cancer, there is a very, very strong need this lifetime to not only give nourishment and to be able to find areas where you can care and where you can love and where you can protect. But I always think the North Node in Cancer has much more to do with nourishing yourself, being able to give you the emotional food that you need this particular lifetime, because it bounces off the South Node in Capricorn. And the South Node in Capricorn carries a much more burdened style energy. It has an energy where emotions probably had to be cut off in some way to be able to get the job done. And this time around, coming into the North Node in Cancer, it's going to be really, really important for you to be able to start to feel again. Some people might say they need a good cry. You know, it's almost like a lot of emotions in the past life probably had to be held in or forced down, you know, with the South Node in Capricorn. And now everything needs to be able to come up. And so getting emotionally connected to life and to yourself is going to be really important. Now, the family side of it does come into it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be your family. The need to bond, the need to have strong bonds this lifetime is going to be very, very important. And that can actually come through friends. I've got a group of very, very dear friends, and we call ourselves a family. I don't have the North Node in Cancer, but I can understand that family energy coming through strong bonds and strong connections, not always through the family itself. There is a strong need to protect and mother and to look after and care. And again, some people might say, oh, they need to have some children. Hey, well, that could be good, but not everybody wants children. And they do have a North Node in Cancer. But, you know, if children isn't the way you need to go or want to go, then maybe animals or maybe nature or a garden or maybe the environment or maybe a project. It's just a feeling of being able to put that caring, a loving, protecting energy into something that you need that needs to thrive. The Cancer energy is the energy of being able to look after and protect something enough so it can grow and be able to thrive into adulthood. And so anything where you put your emotional energy, your feelings into something, that gives it life, that gives it something so it can grow and it can become what it needs to become via you. So the Cancer energy is also an energy of you being able to connect with anything to do with bringing life and love into your life. So food is another good way of being able to connect to the Cancer energy, not so much eating it or overeating it, but being able to nourish through food. So you may have some kind of connection with that particular talent that comes into it as well. But I want to just instill for Cancer, I want to instill the need to be able to connect with feelings in a way where you feel emotionally safe with them, where you can actually come to a lovely, warm, comfortable place with your feelings. Enough to feel like you've come home to yourself, that kind of feeling. Cancer is always looking for somewhere to belong. And so if you can find a place, it could be a home or it could be a location that actually makes you feel like that, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. I always feel it comes back to us in the end. And so for us to come into a nice, emotionally safe place of being able to love and care and nurture ourselves is basically what it's all about for the North Node in Cancer. Okay, so let's look at the North Node in Scorpio. Now, here we go. The North Node in Scorpio is a feeling of this lifetime to become emotionally fearless. That's basically what it's about. And to become emotionally fearless, we have to swim with the sharks. We have to really put our emotions on the line. We have to push ourselves. We have to push ourselves to the edge. And when I say push ourselves to the edge, this could be about exploring passion or exploring intensity or exploring intimacy. All areas that most of us kind of, we're a little bit arm's distance to, that feeling of, I don't want to allow myself to get too close to this because it might just swallow me up. Or it might, there might be areas that I can't cope with, or I'm out of control in those areas. With the North Node in Scorpio, you have to go there. You really, really do. And the North Node in Scorpio is always asking you to be emotionally fearless by unplugging the energy that might be scaring you, or might be intimidating you, or might be worrying you. And this is about coming into a powerful place with your emotions, with the North Node in Scorpio. It bounces off the South Node in Taurus, of course, and the South Node in Taurus is always about white knuckling on the level of security. The South Node in Scorpio, the South Node in Taurus will often come in with strong survival instincts intact. And the North Node in Scorpio has to, in a way, transform or regenerate or rebirth from that. And so to be able to look things in the eye, like death, for instance, to be able to come to terms with death as not being a scary part of life. Sex is another big one. And the big one is money. Allowing money to have power over you this particular lifetime will be crippling for you with the North Node in Scorpio, because you need to be able to come to a place where none of those are big things that most of us in our lives look at as things that are in control of us. We have to get to a place in our lives where we unplug the power that they have over us. And so for the for the North Node in Scorpio people, I really want to say they all have to live their lives to the fullest, as if every day was their last. You know, that kind of feeling? It's that kind of feeling of being able to suck the juice out of life. I also want to say that the North Node in Scorpio people are seeking a particular depth of truth, absolute truth. So therefore, if you've got the North Node in Scorpio, you need to be able to come to that place within yourself, to not hide anything from yourself, or not, when I say not hide anything from anybody else, it's not necessarily about shouting from the rooftops your intimate secrets. It's not about that, but it's about not being scared if they are exposed, or not being worried or anxious if people know stuff about you. And so it's about, unplugging that fear, or unplugging that power. And for you to come into a place of what I would call ultimate truth with yourself, where you don't hide anything. And I'm talking about anything from yourself. You know how we don't particularly like to look at our so-called shadow side, but we need to understand what that means, and we need to be able to put it in its place, and to take the barb out of it, take the fear out of it, and in some way use it as some kind of transformative force in us to actually make us stronger, and to make us much more resilient, and what I want to say is much more magnificent. So the North Node in Scorpio is a very, very powerful North Node to have. Now, the North Node in Pisces. The North Node in Pisces is it's coming into a place of letting go. Just letting go, just releasing. It's like putting that heavy backpack down. Now, it comes from the South Node in Virgo, where everything had to be right, where everything had to be correct. And there's a lot of stress, I feel, that comes in with the South Node in Virgo, a lot of anxiety that comes in with the South Node in Virgo, trying to keep everything into some kind of top and tailed order, and always comes in very, very self-critical, and comes in with a feeling of never really doing what they were supposed to do in the past well enough. That kind of feeling of, I fell short, or, you know what I mean? I no matter how much I worked, or no matter how many, how much heavy, how much heavy work I did, I still felt like, the goalpost kept on moving every time I got closer. And so I want to say that the North Node in Pisces has to release that, has to let go of that. It has to come to a lovely, lovely place internally where they feel some kind of deep inner peace. And you can get this through meditation. You can get this through lovely long walks in nature, or sitting by the ocean, or playing your favorite music, or just having quiet time by yourself. That's what the North Node in Pisces is seeking. It's a boundaryless energy. I wrote down here, when I was writing some notes about this, I wrote down here to open yourself to wonderment, magic, and limitless possibilities. Those were the things that were coming into my mind when I was thinking about the North Node in Pisces, because the South Node in Virgo is very parameter conscious. Virgo is very parameter conscious, and we need parameters. We do need boundaries. But when we're looking at the North Node in Pisces, we have to let those fences dissolve. We have to pull those fences down. And we have to come to a deep connected place within ourselves that's connected to our source, connected to the universe within us. And so therefore, having the North Node in Pisces, it's going to be very, very important to connect to your intuition. Your intuition is going to be really, really important for you as your guide this particular lifetime. Your gut, that's another way of saying your intuition, your inner voice. That's going to be really helpful for you, because you need to go with the flow a lot more. You need to actually move with where this energy wants to take you. And you need to be able to trust it. You need to be able to let go and trust where this energy wants to go. I want to say, allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to get into your fantasy world. You know, if you're artistic or creative, allow yourself to really merge into that and really enjoy that, and really just have that feeling of it being channeled through you. That's a really important North Node in Pisces thing. It may, you know, again, it's about feeling, it's about sensitivity, it's about compassion. So all this is probably new to you in some kind of way, but you do need to incorporate it and encourage any areas of life that allows that kind of feeling or allows that kind of energy to come forth through you and into your life. That's going to be very important as well. So when I think of the North Node in Pisces, I just think of somebody in the ocean lying on their back, just drifting in a meditative state, and feeling that everything is okay. Everything is all right. You know, everything's working exactly the way it's supposed to be. So if you can come into that place with the North Node in Pisces, you're doing really well. So I hope you enjoyed the North Node through the sign series. There is 4 of them, so if you haven't seen the other 3, they're on the Sydney Astrology School YouTube page. So I've really, really enjoyed presenting them. Thank you.